Hello friends and enemies, welcome to or back to Happy For Now. It's me Isabel here with my Dice of Destiny series. We're back! We did it again. Listen, I think you've got one more in me this year. If not this year, it'll be January, but I had so much fun this round. I obviously rolled for how many books we were going to read, so let's do that real quick. So, we are diving in with 6 titles. That feels really low, but I'm really excited because let me tell you, when we go over the stats at the end, you're going to be impressed at how much I reduced things by, considering I only rolled a 6. If you're new here, just some basic rules for the Dice of Destinies. I roll a dice for the number of books I'm going to read, so I use an 8-sided die. I read a max of 8 per series. If it's an even number, I start a new series. If it's an odd number, I continue a series I'm already reading. Numbers 5, 10, 15, and 20 are wild cards, and odd or evens, this is all done on a d20 to decide start or continue. So when I roll a wild card, I go to May. And May then goes to my members in Discord and asks them to either pick a friend, to pick a punishment or reward or challenge or way to pick my book. All sorts of options here, right? They can pick the book I have to read, all the things. Like they're in control whenever I get one of these wild cards. There will never be more than 2 wild cards per video though, because I feel like that would get boring if I had somehow like rolled a 5, a 10, and a 15, and a 20. Like that would be a lot. That would be a lot of work for May to do. So no more than 2, but there's always at least 1 per video. It's pretty much guaranteed when I roll as much as I do for this. So that's kind of the rules and the grounds of it. That's how it all starts. My DNFs do count as a book read. So if I start a thing and I don't like it, I can DNF it and move on to the next roll. We are not like forcing ourselves to finish things. But yeah, and also this isn't the only time I'm reading series. So things are coming off of these lists in between the videos. But like also this is forcing me to really focus in on this challenge for a minute. There is one series I finished since the last video, and that was the Firebird Chronicles. So that was great. I'm really proud of myself for that. That was finished outside of this. And then I also finished or got current with the Kath Richards Morelli family series. So I read A Love Most Brutal. So technically 2 series I'm current on right now. Yeah, so those are the 2 series I'm current on since the last video. Like, I couldn't add anything to my shelf for the Kath Richards. She has not released what is next, technically, so that feels really good. That feels really good. Anyways, let's go to my first roll and see what I'm reading. Okay, so I've rolled for my first book. And I'm reading The Hitman by Katrina Jackson. This is one that I've owned since it came out and has been sitting and lingering forever, which is part of the point of the Dice of Destiny, right? I want to pick up a book that is lingering and I haven't read or picked up. So I'm going to read this. This is a hitman and a PR person. The little bit I've read so far, I'm like 2% in. Basically, she has been betrayed on her wedding day. Her fiance, a maid of honor, and a famous stripper, adult entertainer person have went into a hotel room together. And in doing so, obviously, the night before the wedding, it has hit the news and the wedding's not happening. So I'm very intrigued and curious to see how this plays out. I read the first book like literally in 2020 when it came out. So there's that. So I'll be curious to see what I think. I own book 3, which is The Enforcer as well. So I may read that if I enjoy this. If I don't, I'm going to just go ahead and call it on the series and unhaul that book. So there's that. But yeah, we're going to read this, see what I think. I'm definitely in like a darker romance mood right this moment. So I'm hoping this kind of scratches that itch, but I don't know if it will or not. But like I said, just barely started, so I'll be back soon with thoughts and feelings and all that good stuff. Editing me. Is it lost footage? Who knows? I need to talk about the end of The Hitman because I finished it a while ago. The clip is gone. Vanished into the wind. I don't know. a lot happened between the start of this Dice of Destiny vlog and the end. A lot has happened. So, The Hitman, I finished it. I loved it. I really liked it. It is a solid, like, 4-star novella. It's a little longer than a novella, I think. I think Katrina Jackson just did something really fun here with this series. I'm going to read The Enforcer, which is the next book, but then I think I'm done, because then I think we circle back through the couples to get, like, their full HEAs, and I don't need that. I say that with love. I just don't know if I need that. Maybe I'll read them. But right now I'm sitting at reading The Enforcer and calling the series done for me. Because that's enough. That's enough for me. I really liked The Hitman, though. I think that our heroine's, like, journey through this grief of, like, her soon-to-be husband, really, because it's, like, the wedding day that this all happens and she runs off, was really good. I also really liked her acceptance of, like, what his job was and the realities around it. Like, she wasn't, like, freaked out. Like, it just was what it was. There was no need for, like, these reality checks, so to speak, around that. So I really liked that. Yeah, this was really, really fun, though. So I highly recommend, if you've not read The Hitman or the first book in the series, The Family. I don't remember what book one's called. Anyways, if you haven't read these and you also like mafia romances, I really think you cannot go wrong picking up this series. Like, truly, if you tend to like the things I read, I think you would really enjoy this one. But yeah, I really loved it. On to my next roll, because I've got clips to film for you as I edit. So enjoy the next little bit, and I will be back here in the share in a minute to update you also, because again, I was too many places filming this one, but that's fine. I'll talk to y'all soon. I started Behind the Net last night. Started it. And I finished the last 20 minutes earlier this morning, and you got 0 updates from me. So this is a series that I wanted to read because I purchased all the books now, and they were very cheap. That's why I got them all. And I'm glad I did, because Behind the Net surprised me. It is a lot of my not favorite things. I love a grumpy sunshine. I don't love a lot of, like, unconfessed pining necessarily, but it worked because they both actually had huge crushes on each other in high school. And then I also don't love a pop star music plot line, but I liked it here. It worked well for me. I had a good time. I'm giving it like a 3.5. I would say it was not as bad as I expected, because like I've seen a lot of people say they did not like book 1 really, and I did not like it. I think it was very, like, fine. It was, like, a fun time. I read it very quickly because that's how the writing is in it. It's that kind of writing where if it works for you, I feel like you kind of blow through the book. Maybe a little passive, a lot of telling and not showing a little bit, but not, like, so bad that I was like, I have to DNF this. It was, like, the perfect amount of readability, we'll call it, without feeling like I was reading a book written for, like, children. I hope that makes sense. And that's not an insult to children's books by any means, but, like, sometimes I feel like you read romances where you're like, oh, this is written for, like, a very different audience than I am. So yeah, it worked pretty well for me. I liked it. I really liked Pivot and Jamie together. I thought they were cute. I thought it was fun, their confessions and stuff. I liked the B plot with her ex, Zach, the pop star. I thought went really well. It wasn't, like, dragged on too much. And the other B plot with his mom and her anxiety attacks, like with his mom and her anxiety and panic attacks and stuff, I thought was handled really, really well. And why Jamie thought he couldn't be in a relationship and things like that. Yeah, overall, I think all of that worked super fantastically well for the book. There's no third act breakup, so that was nice. Like, it just was one of those things, like, I started reading it, and the next thing I knew, it was 2 a.m. Oops. And I was still reading it. But yeah, I didn't expect to like this as much as I did, and I've already downloaded book 2, so we're continuing the series. I'm going to read book 2. We might get current in this video. It's kind of just hitting an itch for me where I want to read on my Kindle, and it's readable and it's keeping me engaged. Whereas some things I've been trying to read, I feel like I read a couple pages and I set my book down, which is not the goal. So sometimes I need things like this to, like like a hockey romance or silly things to get me like re-engaged with picking my Kindle up. So we'll see. But yeah, I already picked up book 2, which is, I don't even remember, The Fake Out, I think, where Pippa's sister Hazel and the star player Rory are going to fake date. She is the physical therapist or something for the team, or does physio for the team, they call it, and a yoga teacher. And her ex from college, from high school through like early college, is traded to the team. And Rory is like, he does not like Rory, and so they're going to fake date to piss him off. But we know it's going to go further than that, so I can't wait. I will say with Behind the Net, I was impressed with the sex scenes in this book because it's a slow burn. And when things started going, like kicking off for the two of them, it really just like, she hit the gas. And they were doing it a lot. And it was fun. It was also fun because our heroine, Pippa, had struggled with orgasms with her only partner so far in life. And Jamie was very patient with her and helped her work through it in ways that was like really sweet to see. But yeah, this was fun. It was fun. So I'm excited to read the next book. I will update you in a little bit when I've read some more of it. I'm currently 1 chapter in, so I have no thoughts yet, but I will have thoughts soon, I'm sure. I am currently 58, so basically 60% through The Fake Out. I did it again. So you know how like I read Behind the Net and I came to you and I was like, hey, I read all of this. Oops, on The Fake Out. I started it last night and I read 60% of it. I will be done a little bit later today, probably. I'm working on finishing another video's book first. So there's that. But The Fake Out has been really fun so far. We are following Hazel, who is Pippa's sister from book 1, and Rory, who also went to school with them for a little bit. And Hazel tutored Rory and also dated a hockey player in school and like took classes to graduate early and go to college with him. Well, he was a piece of shit and dumped her and basically was like, we were never exclusive. And he gets traded to the Vancouver Storm, which is the team that Rory is on and Hazel works for. And when he shows up, Rory is like, what do I need to do? Like, we can go to coach, we can do this, we can do that. And she's like, no, it'll be fine. Well, their reunion with her ex, McKinnon, was not fine at all. So she tells him that she's been dating Rory, who he hates because Rory is like the top scorer, top player in the league, all this stuff. And they're fake dating, and the chemistry is out of this world between the two of them. The banter is fan-freaking-tastic. I love this book so much. It has been a solid 5-star for me so far. Like, I think this is going to be a 5-star read. Like, I am going to be continuing the series immediately. Like, we are reading 4 books in this series during this vlog because I'm just having so much fun with them that I don't know what else to do with myself but to read them all, which is why I did this series also, and also why I can only marathon 1 series during it. But yeah, I'm gonna have read 4 of these because I have a feeling I'll finish The Fake Out and be so happy I did. But anyways, the sexual chemistry has been fantastic and they have really been teasing each other, so that payoff is about to be really fun again, because her rule is like once and that they're done, like as far as hooking up. And because of that, he's like, well, how can I bend the rule? So he's already went down on her. And he's like, we're not done yet because we've not fully boned. So I love that he's like stretching out this torture for himself and her. But yeah, it's been very fun. I am truly having a blast. I understand more of the popularity of the series. I also love she doesn't know how to skate. So he's teaching her how to skate, which the ex never did. And it's like driving him up a wall. The jealousy baiting in this has just been so fun. So fun. But yeah, I'm having a blast and I will be reading more of it tonight, so I'll probably update you from the couch. I'm on member spins right now, so I'm gonna go back to those. But yeah, this has been so fun. Okay, so I have an update for you. I finished The Fake Out last night in bed gleefully. Oh my, I'm having so much fun with these Stephanie Archer books. Way more fun than I thought I would have, to be honest with you. I just wasn't sure. Like, I was very hesitant. These are a pretty popular series. I mean, they have almost 60,000 ratings on book 3, which, like, kind of semi-unheard of. Not literally, but, you know, that's a lot. And it's only almost been out for a year. So, like, that's really good considering book 1 almost has 200,000. Anyways, or almost 170,000. I finished The Fake Out. I immediately downloaded The Wingman. I immediately downloaded The Wingman. Because I was like, yeah, I need to know immediately. I have to start Darcy and Hayden's book. Because he is such a sweetie. I have loved him in every single book so far, and I'm very excited for his story. Darcy's annoying me a little bit, but we gotta talk about the fake out before I like get into the wingman and like the 10% or so I've read of it. Okay. I had to change the battery, but the fake out. I really enjoyed the fake dating element of this. I love a heroine who is like more hesitant to confess feelings or be in love and pursue things. And a hero who is just down bad. So bad for her. My favorite thing. This had so many things I loved. I feel like their banter was so fun. I feel like the quiet ways in which Rory supported Hazel was so sweet. It was fantastic. As well as just the fact that Hazel was also ready to go to bat for Rory when things with his dad were going weirdly, and also making sure he was comfortable with things with his mom that were a little weird for him because of childhood traumas, basically. And I liked the way we addressed this, and there was no third act breakup again. And that worked really well. Like, I think there was enough tension and other things going on that we didn't need a third act, right? The third act was them actually confessing their feelings, knowing that the time of, like, the end of the relationship deadline was approaching. And I just think that worked really, really well. I liked this way more than book one. This was like a 4.5 for me. And yeah, I'm thrilled. I read it. I had so much fun with them. This was such a cute book. And I feel like the way it ended and led us into The Wingman also has me very excited. So yeah, I have read like 10% or so of The Wingman. Yeah, so I'm about 7% into The Wingman. And I really like that Darcy and Kit broke up because like you could tell in the other books when they showed up, like things were not good, right? And you could tell Hayden was like in love with her and didn't know how to handle it. And this is going to be my annoyance with this entire book, I'm positive. Darcy continuously talks down about herself and not being his type in any capacity. And like, fair. We all have our own inner struggles, but that internal monologue is going to drive me bananas very quickly. So I'll be curious to see if I finish this one or if I DNF it. But I really like Hayden, so I think I will finish it. He is just like a golden retriever himbo of a hero. I also think it's interesting that our setup here is that he was on the defensive line and now he's moving to the offensive line, and also having similar struggles to Rory in book 2 in the fake out around their love of hockey and playing the sport. And yeah, I'm honestly right now very excited to read more and see what I think as I continue on with this book. But I will be current with this series very soon, which is wild because then in February I'll get the last book and I'll be done. But yeah, I'm having a good time, and it's just kind of, there's enough going on in the world where I'm like very engaged by the story, and I really like how hardworking and independent our heroines have been. I will say I'm curious to see where Darcy goes in this one because she's like an actuary right now and like not super fulfilled by it. So that'll be interesting. Anyways, that's where we're at right now. I will be back to talk to y'all very soon when I read some more of The Wingman. Okay, I did indeed read 90%, really 81% of The Wingman last night, and I'm finishing up the last little bit right now, this morning, today. I don't always love a friends to lovers. I do love a like, let me help you learn to date fake situation. So this had like kind of the perfect mix of those two items happening. And I don't know, Stephanie Archer's writing for me. I just like once I'm locked in, I'm like 80% through the book out of nowhere, or 90. I'm really enjoying Hayden and Darcy though. I feel like they both have they had a lot of both inner like work to do, kind of, in a way, to like come to terms with what they wanted from each other, but they also both just had like this deep care for each other that I think was really sweet to see grow and develop. I've loved it so much, and I'm really excited for Gloves Off because we've gotten a lot of interactions between the two characters for that book and this one, and like more than we did in some of the other books, and I think they're gonna be really fun to read, like really fun. Because they're definitely very bantery. I've also liked we've not had a third act breakup or anything. We've had some like dealing with the trauma of her ex who was best friends with him. So that was interesting to read and see and all that. So yeah, that's where we're at. I will talk to y'all soon when I finish this book. Told you I'd be back. I did finish The Wingman, and who knows where that clip went, but I also really enjoyed this one. I think it's another solid 4.5. Like the rest of the series, like all of it that I've read so far besides the first one have been like 4.5s for me. You're about to hear my favorite in the series so far because it's next. But I think The Wingman did a pretty good job on the Friends to Lovers. The part that I said was going to annoy me annoyed me endlessly, obviously, because I just wanted Darcy to like wake up and realize like she was worthy of him. I also enjoyed a lot of elements with it where we dealt with the ex in some ways, and how that was handled was really nice. He was a piece of crap, of course. I also really enjoyed that in The Wingman, at least. Hayden was a key part in getting Darcy to pursue something she really enjoyed, which was statistics around sports. And in doing so, she was able to then work for the Vancouver Storm, basically, and do statistics for the team. I really think that Stephanie Archer writes really good banter and conversations, and it's reminiscent of Tegan Hunter, who I also really enjoy, I feel like. Similar vibes, similar veins. So I think that's part of what made this so enjoyable for me. Yeah, so I think that's part of what also made this really enjoyable, but I really enjoyed The Wingman for being something, again, that I don't always love, which is Friends to Lovers. But the way the Friends to Lovers worked actually made a ton of sense, because they were kind of intercepted when it came to dating, if that makes sense. But yeah, on to Gloves Off, because it was my favorite. So I'll talk with you about that in a minute, and in actual real time. Okay, y'all. So I have read 60% of Gloves Off. Location change also. Welcome. I'm at my parents for a book event this weekend. But I've read 60% not trying of Gloves Off. And I knew this would happen. I knew as soon as I dove into this book, I would fly. And that is exactly what's happening. I'm flying through it. I love the setup. So they get fake married. They hate each other. They have like boned once, and they're just now at like 60% talking through some of the issues they both have, like past traumas. It has been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Like, oh my God, so good. So yeah, I'm thriving right now, we'll say. I really like Alexi and I really like Georgia. I feel like they're both characters that like in another meeting would have been perfect for each other at the time, probably still, but like them having to work through all of this has also been like really enjoyable. Alexi's learning a lot about himself and how to navigate things, and I like that, and Georgia's also learning the same. I also just love that everyone's like, we were taking bets because of how much they would like pick at each other. It's so good. That is easily one of my favorite things ever. I'm having a blast, and I literally read it on my long flight today to Dallas. My first flight's like to Atlanta. It's like 40 minutes, if that. I napped. And so I've read it on the long flight today, and then I sat on the couch and read, and that got me to 40% and I'm already into 60% now. So yeah, I can't wait to see how these two come together to be a couple, and I can't wait to see how it all wraps up, because it is so good right now. I'm having the time of my life. So there's that. But yeah, I'll be back to update you on it later tonight when I finish it, in my pajamas probably. So it'll be fun. Okay, I just finished Gloves Off. This is my favorite book in this entire series. This is my favorite book. This is a very good dislike to lovers, because they don't hate each other. They're not really enemies. They both have been attracted to each other and in denial about it because they don't want to. They both have preconceived notions about the other one, but they both find each other very hot. So I love that element. I love how the last half of this book went. I love how they moved through the issues and into their like romance. That was spectacular. I loved the ending. That was really sweet. It was a great epilogue. I loved everything about it. I feel like this was a book about Alexi discovering that there's more to life than hockey, and Georgia discovering that people do exist, that someone does exist that will support her through her career, and can give her the life, provide what she needs to have the life she wants in full. So there's that. And that was really nice. And I really, really liked that. Like a lot. I really, really liked that a lot. But yeah, I truly had so much fun. So much fun. This was a 5-star. Like this is my favorite book in this series, and I'm really, really excited for the next book, Wild Card, I think, with Tate and her best friend from this book. I also think this has been well set up as far as the couples, how it's followed, because like you meet a character and they're kind of like, well, we've met Jordan since the beginning, but like the way she's plotted it out is really good. Yeah, I freaking loved this book. I really think one of the things here too that works well for me is their dislikey banter is very rooted in the fact that they both have such preconceived notions about each other, and that always works well for me. So yeah, I really liked Gloves Off, and that concludes the marathon I did during Dice of Destiny. We will pick a new series or whatever the next roll is in a little bit, and I will probably be not here in this room again. So I will see y'all soon.
Hello, Izzy's friends and enemies. I am a fellow friend. I'm Heather at Hia Booktubes, and I am so excited to get to do this. I decided to pick a reading prompt. So I would like for this to be a book that I recommended, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure that the ADHD brain remembers the books that I've recommended, and that's why she's always saying she got the rec from a friend. So I'm pretty sure that's out. So instead, I thought I would do a fun little scavenger hunt. You need a dice. Whatever you roll is the number of books that are going to be in the chain. You can select any book that you would like for your starting book, but the last letter of your book needs to be the first letter of the next title. So if you roll a 3, you're going to have 3 books. You can pick A Love Most Fatal for your first book, and that ends in L, and then Lady Venom Takes a Mistress starts with L and then ends in S. So your next book needs to start with S. And then you can pick Soul Searching. That's 3. That's your book. Whatever TBR pool, whatever book pool you're trying to pick from is totally fine. So you can do this on Goodreads, your audio, your physical TBR, whatever pool you need. But it can get a little bit tricky depending on how many times the same letter comes up or things like that. So if you need to bend the rules, that's perfectly fine. I'm really excited to watch the video.
So we have our instructions from Heather. So I'm going to roll my number. Let's see what we get for our chain to figure out what book I'm going to read. So I'll be right back. I have not decided my rules yet. I don't know if we're going to go off of the last book I read or if we're going to start fresh. I think we're going to go off the last book I read for this, which would be Gloves Off. But let's get our number and reconvene. Okay, so my bangs are a mess today. I barely styled them. Anyways, we are going to start with continuous series with these 4. We're going to start in the Fs because I'm going to try and do a first in series since I have the most in that category. Or I'm going to try and do start a series because I have the most there. If you are screaming, the small child next door is hollering. Literally. Contemporary. Where is it? Oh, next in series. That's what it's called. I was like, why is it not in the C's? I'm a dum-dum. Anyways, next in series has 110 books. We're going to start with F. So, okay, cool. It's recording. I have these already sorted by title. So that's the good news. We're going to speed scroll. Seeing a lot of S's at the end. So let's do 5 Dark Fates. And let's go to first in series now. Okay. About missed it. Okay, so we have Saint, Sal and Gabby Break the Universe. Ignore my Patreon notifications. Scrum. We have a lot of S's. This is gonna be hard. I'm going to pick. My God. Okay, wait. Now we're to the T's. I was like, hold up. I was like, that is not an S. Okay, so I'm not going to do any with A or the in the title because I don't want to think about if I want to count that or not. So I think we're going to go with, that is not first in series. We're going to do Shattered Omega. So that ends in an A. So for our third one, we're going to go with something that starts with an A. So let me go ahead and start screen recording now. I'm doing all of these clips separately and I'm going to regret it, but also it's going to be easier. So we did first continuous series, first in series. Now we're going to do next up, or next in series, whatever you want to call it. Let me find that shelf. I went too far. There we go. So for next in series and A's, we don't have a ton of options, but I think I'm gonna pick Arusha and the Song of Death. So H will be our final letter for this one, and that will be a first in series. So let's go back up to the top. First in series. Oh, I have a lot more H's than I expected. Okay, okay. Wow, I truly did not expect this many H's. Is this actually a series? Okay, so H's, we have a lot of options here. Like, a lot of options. So, let's see. What sounds good? Not a hockey book. I will tell you all that. I'm not going to do another hockey book because I read a lot of hockey in this one on accident. H. So we have the Harley Quinn Reckoning. Haven by Claire Kent. Hazard, which is hockey, so we're not doing that. I kind of want to do an Omegaverse, or maybe Her Soul to Take, but that's long. I don't know that I want to do something that long. One moment, please. Okay, after some browsing the libraries and stuff, I'm going to do Her Soul to Take. It's a little longer than I wanted, but I own a copy of it, so like it would be smart of me to read something I own for this, obviously, and it would reduce my own TBR a little bit. So we're doing Her Soul to Take. I almost had Hooked, but I think we might do that one for another video. And I don't think I own it on my Kindle because I think it's in KU. Yes. Okay, cool. So we're going to try Her Soul to Take because like I said, I own it somewhere on my shelves unread. So it would count for Read What You Own and it would take another book off of both lists. So, and if I like it, it's only a trilogy. So that doesn't feel terrible to add 2 more to my next up in series list. Well, 1 because I'm only adding them as I finish the series. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. Thumbs up. I will be back in a bit once I've read some of the book. I've got to go finish a book for a live show first, though, and read some manga. And then we'll be starting Her Soul to Take. Okay, I've made it 10% into Her Soul to Take so far. 9%? Yeah. I'm about to run errands, so I'm not taking a camera with me, but I want to tell you where I'm at. So I'm here. I'm interested. I do like Harley's writing. I've read The Dare by her, and I really want to read The Loser's Duet, but I wasn't reading that for this. I needed an audiobook for this last prompt. So we're doing Her Soul to Take. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm intrigued for sure. There's been like a murder on campus and she's just moved to this new campus. So we're kind of exploring that. She also has a YouTube channel where she does investigations. So I think that's really kind of fun. But yeah, I'm intrigued. I don't mind the audio narration so far. And I don't, like, I'm just curious at this point. So like, that's a nice place to be at 10%. So I'm going to keep listening while I go run around and do some errands. I will update you when I get home. We'll see how far I make it. Fingers crossed I can make it a good chunk. I did not come back and update you after that first 50%. I realized this, but I kind of was hooked. I need to look into if there's more audiobooks or not, because I do think this is a series I would prefer to audiobook. And there may not be yet, because I wonder if Kensington's doing them. but this one was podium. So I don't know. I need to look into this because I quite liked the audio. I just checked actually. So the first one is currently no longer an Audible exclusive, which they've been doing now, where after a while like things come off of Audible exclusivity. So that's exciting. Assuming book 2 and 3 will leave exclusivity soon-ish. Maybe, perhaps. I think my only complaint is going to be that it's all the same narrators for all 3. But I'm intrigued. So basically our heroine is a goth bimbo. And I love this for us as readers. And our demon hero, Leon, is very much into her. He does not want to admit how into her he is, I would say. But in that, he is also working through how to avoid what is going to happen if the Grimoire is like given back to this evil family. And there's 2 other stories happening at the same time. So it's very Emily Rath-esque in the Pucking Around series, the Jacksonville Rays series. It's very much like that with Emily Rath, where you're jumping through different people's stories in the same timeline. So I really, 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 really want to read book 2 and 3. And I'm going to. Like I said, I'm just going to wait for them to leave Audible exclusivity to read them. I'm going to let those be a book that I get from Hoopla or the library, honestly, because why not? Why not? Truly, why not at this point? It took me this long to read this book. 2, the hardcover for book 2 doesn't come out until January, so depending on when that happens, like, I should have time to read book 2 and then pick up the hardcover if I like it, because I have the beautiful hardcover for this one. Anyways, our heroine, Raylan, is really just a bimbo, said with love, and Leon is just like, don't leave your house, stop doing these silly things, and she's like, la, 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 la. But the way it all wraps up left me like satisfied, and then also again dying for the next 2 books at the same time. So that's an interesting combo for me. I don't always finish series like that and I'm like, wait, but what else happens? What else? I need to know more. And that is how I finished this one. And I was like, oh no. We will be continuing at some point. I did put book 2 into my next in series shelf. So depending on how things go with this project, I will obviously be picking something up for it. I'll eventually pick this up again, either here or elsewhere. Who knows? We'll see where the whims of my reading take me. But yeah, I really like this. This is definitely a darker paranormal romance. Lots of buzzwords there that I like. Demon, obviously, I enjoy. If you don't want... I feel like we get like inklings of the world and what's happening in this town, but we don't get like a ton of clarity about it besides that there's a death cult. So I'm assuming in the next few books we learn more about this cult. One of the characters in the next books is someone who escaped the ritual, and then another one I think is a witch. So do keep that in mind also. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I thought it was good. I felt like it balanced having more erotic sex scenes with the demon, because like that makes sense, while also giving us good story and interesting story. It was very engaging. I flew through this book. I'd only listened to like 10% of it the other day, and then today I listened to the other 90. So that's one. I'm giving it like a 4 as well. Like, I think it's just like, it was good. I had fun. I enjoyed it. I would like to return to this world. Curious about DNF book 3 or not. I know some people didn't like it, but I think I'm going to space them out enough where hopefully I can enjoy them, but also not feel like I'm reading the same story-ish. We'll see. But yeah, I enjoy Harley LaRue's writing personally. I liked the dare. She pushes boundaries a little bit in a way, and in the pushing of those boundaries in a way that I enjoy them being pushed, not in a way that freaks me out. So yeah, this was really fun. I will meet y'all back in front of my bookshelves later to wrap this video up and probably intro it. I don't know if I filmed an intro, but we did it. Yeah, I read 6 books for this video. That feels good. We've reduced my TBRs a little bit more. Also feels good. I do need to go through and like tidy my shelves real quick before I like wrap this up too, because sometimes things don't get pulled off a shelf, and that is always very annoying, but it's fine. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I had fun. I can't wait to see what else happens when I do my next round of this, probably in November, because you're not getting one in December. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, I will talk to y'all soon in front of my bookshelves to wrap this thingy up. All right, y'all. So I did it. I read 6 books total. I marathoned 1 series, which felt really good. I really struggle sometimes to decide if I should marathon or not during this video, even though this is only my second go of this. I still struggle. I'm like, but should I marathon this? And honestly, I'm really glad I did, because the Vancouver Storm books were very easygoing and fun and a good time. So I'm glad I marathoned them, but it's just kind of wild to do that. So at the end of this video, I figured I'd give you a little bit of stats here. So when I started this series, I had 227 first in series to read. When I started this video, I was at 252, but at the end of this video, I was at 240. I did clean up my shelves some in between all of this, which is great. I also did like remove things I'm not interested in anymore. So I've done like some more cleanup. So like obviously I added since the first video, but I've also now gone back and like adjusted things accordingly. And also I realized I had some things that were marked as series that weren't actually series. So that was interesting. Like there was no book 2 scheduled anywhere. So in my opinion, that is not a series yet until I have a date for book 2. So those all came off, hence the 12 book drop. Then for the next in series, we started the video project with 115 and started this video with the same number. By the end of this video, I was at 105. Same thing. I read a handful in between. I feel like I managed to just kind of like slowly shrink this number, and that feels really good. I don't know if I added the next book in the Katrina Jackson one yet to my next in series, but if I didn't, I will add that. That would put me at 106. So that still feels quite good. Yeah, I'm happy with this progress. I'm happy with everything I read in this video. I read some things that like were sitting on my Kindle for a while. I read some things that were sitting in my KU wish list for a while, and I read something that was on my physical bookshelf. So that also was a big one in my opinion. So I really liked the process of how I picked the book for Heather's challenge. And now I'm like, ooh, do I do a whole vlog where I do those? Maybe, maybe not. But either way, I'm feeling good about the progress we have made in series for this video, even though I only read 6 things. Still felt good. Also felt like a very manageable number. I believe the first challenge I read 8 or 7. It was a lot of books, I feel like. But yeah, I feel really good about the progress we made. I hope you all enjoyed this installment of the Dice of Destiny. Let me know down below if there's any series you want me to prioritize. I will put the lists down there if you're curious. If you have ideas for rewards or punishments that my members could pick from, you can leave those down below. May has a list going. They all are doing things with that. I have no I have that entire thread like hidden, so I don't even look at it in my Discord. So like I have no visibility to any of it. So it's really fun, in my opinion, how it's kind of working out. And then a third thing, sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions at the end of this video. Do you want me to try and do another round of this in November, or do I wait till January? Let me know your thoughts. If you don't do any of these things, you can leave me a hockey stick emoji or gold hockey related emoji of your choice, because I did read 4 hockey books. Oops, not sorry. I did read a bunch of those. So yeah, you can do that down below. Leave me a hockey related emoji of your choice. I will be back in just a few days in my next video. I'm so excited. You're getting a regular weekly vlog next, so get pumped. But yeah, this was just so much fun. I'll have links to all these books for you down there, links to my friend anywhere on the internet, and I'll catch y'all in just a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions. We'll get away. This is what we waited for.